Hey Jack,
It's a fan going.
think fast. Let's let it on, set these on fire and then make great little fire bombs.
It would. Look, great fire starters. Firelighters.
I've just released trees.
Released released trees.
Yeah, baby ones.
Right.
Welcome to today's video where we're talking Badlands bikes. So many people come up to me at this event saying how useful videos are where we talk about the stuff that I've taken. So we're going to do exactly that for this edition of Badlands number 5, where we run through everything that is in this bike that I have taken this year at Badlands. So the bib shorts are from Lacoste. I am sponsored by Lacoste for full clarity, but these are their Arc bib shorts, which have not been washed. I really enjoy these bib shorts because they've got loads of pockets. There's 2 pockets on the back, there's pockets in the side. They're designed for gravel riding, bike packing, that kind of thing. So they're incredibly comfortable and the pad is nice and padded. Arc bib shorts from Lacoste. There's a lot of science that goes into the fact of how good white is for reflecting the sun and therefore keeping you cool. So I wore Lacoste's lightweight white jersey, which is not as white as it was when I started. The socks, there's one. They're nothing interesting really. They're Lacoste socks. They're lightweight ones that they make as well. The shoes I've been using are from Lake. They are these ones. I don't know the model number unfortunately, but they are basically a mesh shoe. Because they're mesh fabric, which you can kind of see in there, they actually allow a breeze to go through your foot quite a lot. I'm using Shimano SPD pedals. I just think it's the best off-road pedal system. Works really well. I do ride with a heart rate strap. This is from Garmin, but the big thing to also mention is I'm riding one of these core body sensors. There's no like sponsor agreement or anything with Core, but after getting heat stroke last year, a friend of mine suggested that I wear one of these just to keep a tabs of my body temperature, and it reported to me a lot of the time while I was riding that I was really hot. I'm very lucky to have been working with Sungod for a really long time now, and I have been using a set of Vulcans. Every edition of Badlands that I've done, I have worn a set of Vulcans in different colours, and every edition I've used a photochromic lens, which is a lens that gets darker when it's sunny and lighter when it's not sunny. I've also, for every edition, used a stringy thing, and therefore basically not try and have to deal with putting them in my helmet or anything like that. They just hang, and it's really useful. So yeah, photochromic lenses, Vulcans, nice and big. If you've got a smaller head but you like the style of this, you can look at the Badlands or the Badlands. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but they're another option to look at as well from Sungod. Whoop. The helmet. This is a Lazer Z1 Kineticore. This is their ambassador colorway edition they do. You can't buy these colors unfortunately, but you can get the same style helmet. I would definitely recommend wearing a light color vented helmet because it's going to make such a difference with your body temperature as well. Lazer's Kineticore technology is basically their own version of MIPS, so internally it has like loads of crumple zones in it, and by not using MIPS it means that actually you're having a helmet that's way more vented, and they offer this Kineticore range from pro level world tour helmets all the way down to children's helmets. So that to me is pretty amazing in terms of rotation and impact protection as well. The lights are on it. This top one is from Exposure. It's a Diablo. It is a fantastic light to use as a light on your bike anyway, but you can get a helmet mount which allows it to clip in the top. And this is also an Exposure head torch, an Exposure HT1000. The reason why I have 2 helmet lights is because the head torch battery is not quite as long as the actual light on the top, but what I like about the head torch is the positioning of it and being able to adjust it up and down. The combination of the 2 basically means that nighttime becomes daytime, so that's really good. I was riding with a hydration vest like this. This one can carry 2 litres of water inside it, and the reason why I've got a few different hydration vests at home, but the reason why I chose this one is because it actually has quite a lot of storage in it as well. So there's 2 litres of water in this, plus you've got pockets on the front, and in one pocket I have got some Life Jacket sun stick, which is factor 50, really good to put on your face and your lips and stuff to stop you getting burnt. In this pocket is a set of wireless headphones, And then on the other side, basically in here, there's a few different Styrkr gels, a couple of caffeine gels, a couple of high carbohydrate gels as well. So the caffeine gel is a caffeine plus 30 grams of carbohydrate with 150 milligrams of caffeine in it. Gel 50s have basically got 50 grams of carbohydrate and they're nice and fruity, very nice. In here as well, set of gloves, white gloves, just short finger gloves. 2 tubes of Styrkr's SLT07, which is 1,000 milligram salt tablets. Really, really important to have loads of salt tablets. And in this main pocket, a couple of Styrkr bars are in here. So there's a couple of bar 50s in there. There's a bar plus, which is a protein rice bar they make, which has 45 grams of carbohydrate, 15 grams of protein. And their bar 50, which is 50 grams of carb. I also took inside here a load of their mix sachets. So each one of these is 90 grams of carbohydrates, but they do a caffeine plus version, which is 90 grams of carbohydrates plus caffeine, and that is like rocket fuel for me. So that is a very dangerous thing for me to have. The last few things that I put in here was a buff. People think that's a weird thing to take on an event like this, but it gets very, very dusty. So having a buff allows you to keep the dust off your nose and your mouth, and actually helps with your lungs as well, which is pretty important. You've got to look after those things. Some arm sleeves from Le Col, which are basically a super lightweight, you could argue, an arm warmer. They're white, they're thin, help keep the sun off your skin. And a tiny, tiny, super lightweight gilet made out of Pertex fabric, so that means it folds up really, really small. That's everything that was in that hydration vest. Oh, it is. That is everything that was in there. So the bike I was riding is Argon 18's newest dark matter, size medium. I am running Enve finishing kit, so Enve AR bars, Enve stem, Enve seat post. Some special Enve wheels. These are M5 Pro rims, which is the mountain bike rim, with an Enve hub on the rear and then a dynamo hub on the front, which I'm not using as a dynamo hub, but I'm future-proofing the wheels. The tyres are Schwalbe G1 RX Pros. I'm running a new size, which I'm testing at the moment, and it's fantastic. The reason for wanting to use in the mountain bike rims is with a bigger tyre, it basically allows the tyre to sit wider because you've got a wider internal and therefore more squidgy, more comfortable. Rotors and pads are from Trick Stuff, 160 front and rear rotors. The front suspension is Fox 32TC, which has got 50mm travel. Having ridden on a drop bar hardtail and gravel bikes at this event, that is the perfect solution. 50mm travel is absolutely amazing when it's rough, and I think any more is probably overkill, to be honest with you. That's combined with the size of the tyres. Oh, super impressed with that. Super impressed with that. Group set that's on this bike is SRAM. At the time of building this bike up, the only thing that was available in the gear ranges that I wanted as a wireless group set was SRAM's options, so I was quite keen to try that out. SRAM red levers with some special sturdy titanium brake levers on them. SRAM brake calipers with Trick Stuff pads, as I've already said. A SRAM chainring and power meter with a sturdy titanium 3D printed crank. The rear mech is from the mountain bike side of it, which is SRAM's XXSL rear mech with a 10 to 52 cassette. Super wide range. The chainring I'm running is a 40 tooth. I found it fine, but the 40 tooth on some of the steep climbs is pretty grindy, and you will be riding at a really slow cadence. Obviously it depends on how heavy your bike is as well, so I would probably consider running a 38 actually going forward. Lights are all from Exposure. The big front one is a Exposure 6-pack, which basically makes nighttime to daytime, and battery on it lasts ages. The rear lights are Exposure Blazes. I really like the Blaze. They have updated the whole lighting system. These are slightly older models, but these are the ones that I just get on with, so I'm still using them. In terms of water on the bike, I was carrying 2 750 Styrkr bottles and then a tiny little Fidlock bottle underneath, which is about 400ml. That was the emergency supply of water underneath. Bottles were always filled with Styrkr's Mix 90 salt tablets inside there. The computer I was using was a Garmin 1040 Solar, just lasts ages, and it's pretty bomb proof. It's been out for a long time now, but I get on well with it. I've used it for a lot of stuff. All of the bags come from Tailfin. I'm using the medium sized top tube bag. They do a longer one, but that is more designed for a mountain bike. This medium one kind of takes up the top, and then one of their frame bags as well. So in the top tube bag, to start with, iPhone cable and a massive battery pack. This is a Belkin big boy with 20,000 mAh. iPhone charger because iPhone batteries are rubbish. Some wet ones, wet wipes. Some Nurofen painkillers. a sunglasses rag, which I actually use to wipe sweat off my eyes a lot of the time. These are allergy tablets because I have recently been stung by many wasps. A spare battery for my Insta360 camera, 3 SRAM batteries, battery charger adapter thing. It does EU, UK and USA and Oz, and has 2 USBs and 3 USB-Cs on it, so that's a really good thing if you do stop in an accommodation where you can just charge loads of stuff. A exposure battery pack designed specifically to use with their lights. A spare Garmin, because I have a spare one, so I took a spare one. This is also a solar powered one. This is an 840 solar, so like a smaller version. A Styrkr tool, which also has quick links inside it. A tiny Leatherman. Spare battery for the power meter, which also is a spare battery for a SRAM shifter. I actually took several of these, so just to be covered. An adapter, which works with the exposure battery and allows you to then be able to charge that. You have to use this little adapter, so if you're taking one of those exposure batteries, remember that, lad. That is the top tube bag complete. Inside the frame bag we have a bit of rag. Cleaning the chain mainly is what that's used for. It's for cleaning the dust off your chain. A bag with various cables in it. In here is a cable to charge exposure lights because they have their own thing. 2 USB-C cables which charges Garmin and other USB-C things. A charger for the core sensor because that has its own charger as well. And a SRAM battery charger because I was really not taking any risks with not being able to have wireless group set that worked. Some chamois cream. This has been a bit of a mind blower for me recently, and it's from Squirt. It is their barrier balm, and it's basically like a Vaseline kind of subject stuff, and that seems to be really good for me in wet or hot conditions when you sweat a lot. A Styrkr mini electric pump thing. This is the bigger of the 2 mini ones. It's actually annoyingly good because it has a screen on it and you can select the PSI. Comes in a bag with cables and stuff in it. A 10mm Allen key. This is a very specific thing if you run a SRAM crank because they can come loose, and this is what you need to tighten them. Some Styrkr super secret chain coating lube. I run wax chains. I like how it works. I know not everyone likes it, but for me, I really like it. Stays clean, stays efficient. But what I would do is I'd wipe the chain, put the lube on. I'd probably do it once a day. Basically when it starts to sound noisy, put it on. So a dry erase, something like that. A wet erase, maybe a more oil-based system. This is my toiletries. So a tiny thing of toothpaste, a fold-up toothbrush, and some anti-back hand gel. A Styrkr miniature torque wrench, which is exactly what it says it is. It's a torque wrench but miniature. Some tools from Wolftooth. This is a tire lever, but also for spokes as well, tightening spokes. And this one is a chain breaker and a tubeless doodad. So you've got tubeless little bacon rashers in there and a whole little tubeless system. But there's also a tiny knife, just in case. And lastly, in here is a Schwalbe Aerodan inner tube, which is their TPU inner tubes. Mountain bike specific one because I'm using mountain bike sized tyres. I took 2 of these. There's one in the frame bag and there's one in the frame, which is probably never going to come out. On the other side, because there's a pocket on each side, there is basically salt tablets, a huge assortment of salt sachets from Styrkr. These are the SLT Plus sachets, which have 1080 milligrams of sodium, and they're flavoured, so it's quite nice. And cable ties, because you can fix everything with cable ties. And I'm basically running a Dynaplug racer here, which is Dynaplug stabby. And then inside here comes this little toolbox, which Argon 18 make. And in here, I have 2 sets of brake pads in there, so plenty really. Another Dynaplug, some like chain cleaning wipes, some more tire levers, and a chain tightening tool thing and multi-tool thing from Wolftooth. As you can see, there's multiples of different tools that kind of do the same thing, but they all seem to have different bits for them, so I'm covered for kind of any bit. These 8-bit tool system from Wolftooth are genuinely really good. Spare quick links as well. At Badlands, what they do every year is they give you a first aid kit, which is a really nice touch. And I've just tied it to the back of the bike using a Tailfin rubber strap. Inside this new product from Tailfin, I put the tracker under the mesh here and use it as a place to put extra food basically. But the important bit that sits here is sunscreen, because you need a lot of sunscreen on this event, and having it easily accessible is hyper important. In the rear pack itself, a set of running shorts to be able to have something to wear like off bike if I need to. Down jacket, because it does get very cold at night. This one's from Patagonia. It is premium, it is expensive, but it folds down small and it is a great product. This is a lightweight rain jacket from Lecole. They do tons of different options of rain jackets. They all generally use Pertex fabric, but which is a fantastic offering from Pertex in terms of being waterproof. But I chose to take this one as opposed to the Arc one because it just folds down a bit smaller. There is then a Patagonia quilt. I like a quilt because you can get out of it easily, basically. I was bougie this year. I packed a little pillow. This is a Sea to Summit Aeros pillow. Super easy to blow up. It just makes your sleep experience a bit more comfortable. An air mat. This is an Alpkit cloud base. I've used this for probably 8 years now. This is a fantastic, very reasonably priced air mat that is lightweight and comfortable. It's like a quilted thing. The bivvy I've used now for probably 5 years is an Outdoor Research helium bivvy. I really rate this bivvy because it comes with a tent pole that allows you to lift the bivvy off your face, so it feels like you're in a very tiny tent. It's pretty lightweight. It's actually lighter than the other bivvy I have, considering it has a tent pole. And when you have the pole up, you can have it completely sealed off, which keeps you very warm, but it does get a bit humid inside because of your breath. But you've also got the ability to just have it open with a mesh, which is quite nice as well. Second pair of socks, because you never know what's going to happen to the first pair. Second pair of bibs. This is important because you don't want to ride a lot in disgusting bib shorts. I have done events where I've taken one set of bibs and I have been incredibly sore below. So just take a second set of bibs and wash them as often as you can. Keep your hygiene good. An air tag. I always have one on bikes, especially bike packing, because just in case something happens, and it also means friends and family can track me separately from the tracker. Hopefully there's some stuff in there which is useful for you if you're looking to take on Badlands or any kind of event similar to this. And yeah, if you have any questions, any thoughts, any comments, please let me know in the comment section below and I will get back to you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers for supporting me, as always.
Tidy up.
I think I need to clean up, mate. Get the wet ones out.